we can cut bits out, etc. Okay, so today I am joined with
my very good self, Ben.
How are you today, Ben?
I'm alright, how are you?
Not bad. I've been better. I'm enjoying the sun. I've got my summer clothes on.
We don't get a lot of sun around here, but it's nice when we do.
For any listeners what are abroad, which is 0, we are from the UK. And this is a special one-off podcast for Doncaster College. It's my turn, the great Aron, to inform the people of Doncaster Media Course, and maybe anybody else who's interested. No offence to the sport lot, but they don't look the type of people that would be interested in film news. But I'm your host, Aron. I'm going to be asking my friend here, Ben, a series of questions to do with film. We'll have some general chit-chat, a bit of fun. We may be joined by a third guest later on. But for now, we will begin. That's a pretty good introduction. I had no idea what I was saying. That's pretty good. Right. We know your name. We know that you're called Ben. We know you're from the UK. I'm going to tell everybody who's listening that you've got a beard.
But call it a goatee.
A goatee.
It's just a bit of a mess.
It's a goatee.
It's a bit of a mess.
It's got the whole Leo thing going on. If you're wondering his dress sense, red hoodie, watch poking out his sleeve.
You could have said I'm all in black to make me sound
we're drinking,
really menacing.
We're drinking water because Ben's boring, and I wanted a few brewskis, but we're stuck with water. So Ben,
hello.
What would you say your relationship with film is? Would you say
My relationship with film?
Would you say you want to work in the industry, or you're a film fan, or you just casually like to watch films, you know, Sunday afternoon, watch a James Bond film, that's on every single frigging channel?
It's not. I do watch a lot of films. Whenever I have the time to watch a film, a good film, it has to be a good film, good rating. Must be recent as well, because I'm not the one into old black
good
and white.
Good rating is in rated high, like IMDb and stuff like that.
Yeah, it needs to be a high-rated film, something popular, like a long-lasting sort of franchise, like Star Wars, or maybe a new Lord of the Rings, or something like that.
Something where you can get involved in the world, like an adventure.
Yeah. I'd like to be involved in the special effects side of the movie creating scheme. No, I'd like to either be a director. I'd like to cameras. I've seemed to be a lot more involved in cameras recently.
And Ben is a very, very good cinematographer.
Yes, I'm a very good cinema dude.
That thing.
Because I can't. Yeah, that word. No, I've always been interested in special effects. I love CGI. I love animation. I'm a gamer, so I try my very best to create something out of a game.
Would you say you're more of a gamer than a film fan?
Yes, I've been more involved in games than I would.
So I've hired the wrong person straight away. I'm paying you nothing.
Oh no! Thanks to the gaming industry, it's kickstarted my imagination.
Yeah, but the imagination from games usually comes from films. But would you rather spend 20 hours, 4 hours sleep coding a game, or 20 hours, 4 hours sleep?
Oh no, I would never go into coding. I'd never go into coding. Coding's just a nightmare. It's like learning 5 languages at once.
So that's back to your first point. Well, it's not a point, it's a statement. Films with high ratings you like. What if it's a film with a low rating, but it turns out to be pretty good, and you enjoy it?
Well, there's obviously quite a few films out there which a lot of critics will hit, and sometimes, to be fair, most of the time, I won't agree with them because I thought the film was pretty good. Like, for example, Alien vs Predator. Now, I'm a great fan of that film, but a lot of critics would criticise it.
Dead eyeing me across the room. But do you agree with the critics and then just dismiss it, or do you
I would agree with on some points that maybe the film was a bit dodgy here and there. That a few characters shouldn't have ever existed. You know, but I thought the film was okay.
So you enjoyed it? And
yeah, I thought it was all right.
That's fair enough. I think
it's not one of the best films. I think it's most probably the weakest, but I still like it.
I think it is our job as a culture to have to sound not so snobby here, but I think it's our job as a culture to try and get a good taste, to try and get a good mix and make sure movies what are sexist or racist.
I love anything to do with sci-fi, horror, thrillers, action. I like anything like that. So anything that's away from what we deal with in real life. Can't stand soaps.
What would you say your favourite film is?
My favourite film of all time?
I know the answer to this. I'm just...
Film or film franchise?
Film.
Film? Ooh.
Or franchise if it's a big SW.
If it's going to be franchise, then yes, it's going to be Star Wars. Star Wars is greatest.
Is that all of the Star Wars
sci-fi
films?
adventure of all time.
Is that all the Star Wars films or just the first three?
It would be the originals.
The originals.
The originals, including The Force Awakens. I class that. It's not as an original, but I think it's up there with the originals. It's meant to be along that storyline. So
I would agree.
I like The Force Awakens and I like the originals.
Which
Other than that, on the second lot of second best franchise would most probably be the Predators, the Predator franchise.
And we know that's where I'm going to disagree.
Predator 1 and 3. Predators, should I say? Predator 2.
I haven't got all the way through.
Weak.
I haven't got all the way through the third Predators or Predators. You know I hate Predator 1, and Predator 2 is a disaster of a film.
I like Predator for the character. I guess it's not so much the films. I really like the films for the characters. That's with everything I like.
Let me describe the first Predator to you. Now, I'll tell you something I do like about the first Predator. It's got this really nostalgic, gritty feel to it. It feels like it's one of the movies from the Grindhouse era. Now, Ben's looking at me like, what's that? But we'll skip over that. But what I mean is it feels part of history. Now, we'll check this message, because this could be our third member. But it's not. It's somebody being annoying. Anyhow, I do like that side of Predator. It's one of the films which it's sort of fun to be a film fan, but on the other hand, it starts off with a bunch of blokes blowing stuff up.
Yes, it does.
Which is.
But then again, it's got Arnie in it, and Arnie is always the one to start off with explosions. He has to blow something up.
Right.
If he's not blowing something up or not got any action,
the film seems to be at the same time good and bad. It's like when you and Arnold Schwarzenegger turns around and throws a knife, stick around. Exactly, it's funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's a horrible one-liner.
It's cheesy. It's just. But at the same time, you laugh. You're like, oh, it's kind of awesome. And I think it rides the line between taste, if you know what I mean. I think it's not a very good film, and I don't enjoy it, but at the same time I kind of appreciate it. I kind of got a soft spot for it.
I thought Predator 1 was okay. I thought it was good, but like I said, the only reason I would like that film is because of the character, the actual creature itself. Yeah. The Predator creature is unique in my opinion.
But don't they do it in the third Predator? I'm just calling it third Predators. Don't they explore the character more? Or
the reason I like the third Predators film is the story is okay, even though it's very close to the original. As all three are, it's all based on, they're always getting hunted by the one predator. But in Predators, I like the unique storyline of that. There's one predator, but there's also another side to the predator species. It's like a wolf. The difference between a wolf and a dog. So the wolf would always attack the dog, even though there's sort of on like the same bloodline.
I understand what you mean. It's like the
I like them. I like
different
how
cats.
Got,
like there's a
yeah.
I was about to say kitten's type of cat. And there's the cat, and then there's the lion.
Yeah, I like the idea that it goes deeper into the.
But it's all fun doing that because you're a fan of Predator. Don't forget. But what about somebody like me who's not a fan of Predator? Is it still an interesting film to me? Am I still going to enjoy the film even though I'm not a fan of,
If you like action, and
But
a bit of gore, then yeah, you like it.
What I'll
but
be interested in the Predators.
what's more interesting than Predators?
No, will I be interested in the Predators when I'm watching it? Will I sit there going, these, oh, I get it now. I get why all the fans love the Predators, because there is a big fan base on Predators, isn't there? Like people don't see it, but there is like a big underground fan base.
It's the honour. It's the honour to do with the Predators. That's what makes them quite cool. They're not. They don't just come to Earth, go on a killing spree, and go home. They actually have a reason. They're honoured by it. If they kill the wrong target, it's close to the same as death.
And we can both agree the second Predator, terrible.
Second Predator film, I don't like it. The story's okay, I guess, in a way, but the actual Predator himself.
You should see my reflex then when you said the story's okay, and you had to see.
It's okay.
There's one shot which I actually love, while the drug Jamaican whatever gets his head cut off, and then you see the next shot of the guy carrying it, don't you?
Yeah.
And I like that shot, and that's the only thing I remember from Predator 2.
Yeah, that's again. It's like it's symbolising that the Predator's unstoppable. It's like even the greatest crime lord still gets beaten.
And you see the alien head in the Predator ship.
Yeah, there's a few little Easter eggs in that.
And then 10 years later, was it 80s the film?
That's what I like about the Alien vs Predator franchise. It just goes so far into. It shows that the Predator's not just hunting us; he's hunting everything. Even the greatest monsters of all the sci-fi, like even the old films like Alien.
The first Alien vs Predator is kind of a guilty pleasure to me. I don't mind it if I can sit for it. But the second one, Requiem, I really don't like. I think it's pretty bad.
Requiem, in my opinion, was just a repeat.
But they tried to make it into like a teen horror slasher film, didn't they? And is the whole scene in the swimming pool, and it just felt like it was something out of Scream, if you know what I mean. It's like Scream meets Alien vs Predators, and I just don't think it worked.
No, that was a failure of a horror film.
Yeah.
I mean, it added a cool.
Because it's not. Aliens and Predators aren't really scary, are they? More sci-fi, aren't they?
The alien is the scariest. The Predator's not scary, in my opinion. Obviously,
I think the Predator's pretty intimidating.
Very intimidating, but I wouldn't call him scary. I'd say the alien is scary, because that's the one that'll lurk in the dark and claw your face off when you least expect it. I like the original Alien.
A bit like Women, am I right?
It's like with the Alien films. What would you say your favourite Alien film would be?
Second one.
The second.
Yeah.
So Aliens, you like Aliens.
Yeah.
I thought Aliens, it is the best one, in my opinion, but it's also the not so great one because it's not scary. It's not. There's no horror in my opinion with that one.
It's a bit long.
It's more action and aliens running around everywhere. With that one, in the others, it's more.
I just think it's
focused on the alien
like horror. I just like the idea of going into the, and the girl in it. I think Ripley has a really good relationship with the girl. I think it's a nice little sentiment.
Yeah, and all that goes out the window in Alien 3.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Alien 3 is overrated. That's not what I'm looking for. Overlooked, we'll say. I think it's got.
I think it's quite good. I mean, the CGI could have been a little bit better, but.
I think it's going for a gritty, dark tone, isn't it? And I don't think it finds it, but I think it's trying to get at something. And then the fourth one, just mental.
What about Resurrection?
The fourth one, terrible.
Do you think it was actually terrible?
It's just all over the place, isn't it? It's just
it's a bit crazy.
It's just a mixed match of ideas, really. It's like almost throwing the whole budget at it, and the whole idea. I just seem to remember pinpoints from bad films, and there's the guy in a wheelchair, isn't there, from Resurrection. It's like, why is that wrote into the script? Why is there a guy in a wheelchair shooting aliens? If you know what I mean, it just seems to be so far fetched and so out there now. When instead of like nice, tight Aliens 1, Aliens 2, nice little cast, emotion. Now I've got a guy in a wheelchair and somebody carrying up some steps and there's fire behind him, and this happens and this happens. And
yeah, it seems a bit way too far fetched for that film.
But we shouldn't be talking about Predators and Aliens.
No.
We should be talking about Star Wars.
Yes.
We'll keep this quite short then, from that expression. We do not want this to go on for half an hour. We don't want your beard to get any longer. Right. Where is Star Wars? And what I mean by that, at this current time now, we just had the release of the Blu-ray, which was 2-3 days ago.
Monday, yeah.
Monday. Where is Star Wars now? And what I mean by that is that people jumping on the bandwagon. Because I think when the film came out, it was a lot of people, as franchises, it happens with franchises all the time, people jump onto it and go, oh, I've been a fan for 500 years, or, you know, I've loved Star Wars since a child. And the case isn't they haven't. They might have seen it once or twice, but they're not a fan. They just jump on it to, you know, Instagram it or Twitter it. Oh, I'm going to. I think it became a competition who could watch Star Wars the most, you know, most times. Is there still people doing that? Because you see T-shirts now, you see people with cups. It's absolutely everywhere. Star Wars. This could be our third member. Let me check this. But Star Wars just seems to be. It is. Our third member says 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
That's going to be pretty late.
Well, he's got an hour.
Right, alright.
This is really Star Wars conversation.
30 seconds maybe. Right, remember what I'm saying. This is very unprofessional. Let me just reply to this. I'll read out what I'm replying. To my friend, it's now 8 o'clock. About 8 o'clock.
5 to 8, yeah.
5 to 8. My friend said, let's come out at 9. So I'm going to put... Alright, this is me being a bit passive aggressive. Alright, mate. Text me if... How can I reply to this? Because we'll probably be done.
Say, how about you come out now?
No, because if he's been at work or he's busy, it's a bit rude. Alright, mate, text me if you... I'm really struggling texting at the moment. Like, I just don't know what to say to people. I'm getting to an age now where I'm wanting to just, you know...
Well, that's on the subject of Star Wars. If you're struggling with life, just use the Force.
I wish I had the Force. I wish I didn't have to bloody text. Right. Alright, mate, text me if you... Text me when you're ready. So that way, you know, it's in his hands now. Right, anyway, so as I'm saying, you've got millions of people flocking to Star Wars now. They may not, like I say, they may not be true fans, they may not be real fans. That's not a bad thing at all. You know, it's completely fine to jump into a franchise. But in the long run, could this hurt the franchise? Could it's obviously not. It's still going to make millions of money. But I mean, you know, are people still going to be as keen on it in the future? I mean, it's ridiculous. You look everywhere now, and there's people. I saw this is true. I saw a we'll use the word, even though it's a bit derogatory and it's a bit stereotyping, you know, gender. But I saw a chav, baseball cap on backwards, talking like you know,
an idiot.
Talking like an idiot, talking like somebody who doesn't like English. Star Wars t-shirt on. Would he be a Star Wars fan? Well, he's got the right to be a Star Wars fan. Does he have the knowledge and the history of other Star Wars fans? Probably not. But he still gets to be a Star Wars fan. But after the popularity and the attention has died down, where does it leave Star Wars? Or are we just left with the...
I don't think the attention of Star Wars, like the idea of Star Wars or the memories of Star Wars, would ever die down. I think it's such a unique thing. It's not only the first of its type, but it seems to be the only decent version of its type. I mean, there's been a lot of decent sci-fi films that have come out, or sci-fi adventures, whatever, whether it been Star Trek or, you know.
But Star Trek never had the effect Star Wars had, did it?
No, nothing's ever beat Star Wars. No. Still to this day, and we're in God knows how many years later now, 50 years, 60 years?
Like a 130 odd years of film.
Yeah, there's been many years that have come past, many generations, and still Star Wars is at number one for the greatest sci-fi adventure of all time. It is still up there. And I think that'll last for a very long time. And now that they're bringing out the new films, it's just going to keep it up there. Unless a director makes a complete fool of himself.
Pig's ear.
Yeah, complete pig's ear, or a complete Jar Jar of himself.
I don't really think they can.
Then Star Wars might start to plummet.
So you think if the... But even though the fans don't like the prequels, they still talk about it, don't they? They still...
I mean, I never really had the problem with the prequels. I mean, Phantom Menace was okay because Darth Maul was quite good. I like the entire I like the entire
The
franchise.
entirety of the franchise.
I like everything about
don't
Star Wars because it's the
hate-
story. It's
I hate the film of the prequels because they're bad films, but I don't hate the films. If you know what I mean, I don't have any interest in talking about. This is not a diss on any Star Wars fans. I just don't have any interest in talking about the prequels.
I think Star Wars are going to be around for a lot longer
Oh,
than we think.
Be around forever. It's going to be cemented.
It's gonna be one of those things that'll never change.
But in terms of the fans, it's like Breaking Bad. This is off topic now, but it's like Breaking Bad, the greatest thing ever invented. When that finished, same thing happened. It got talked about, and all of a sudden you got like people what you just wouldn't expect to be a fan of this work of art flock to it. They get the T-shirts, they get the cups, they get everything, and it's annoying to me. Not because you know there's people getting interested in something I love, but it's almost like, you know, say you should get like a new pair of shoes what you love, and some guy who you're not a big fan of is wearing them shoes. You're gonna be like, oh come on, they're my shoes, and it's sort of a bit like that. And because you're a bigger Star Wars fan than me, do you feel that, if you know what I mean? If you see a child walking down the street now and decked out in Star Wars stuff, does that annoy you? Or
No.
do you not bother?
When I
me.
don't care who likes Star Wars.
But what if they like
Star Wars unites everyone.
That's quite a sweet thing, because you believe.
It doesn't matter what kind of culture you're from or whatever your life involves, wherever you are in the world. It's a universal thing. It's in everyone's. It's whoever likes Star Wars. It's in their hearts, and it combines everyone together.
But even if
it's just one of those unique things.
Know nothing about it and just jump in the bandwagon.
I wouldn't be bothered.
It's still uniting them.
Yeah, it's still uniting.
I actually really like that, and I really admire that statement. And I would say I actually agree.
That's how Star Wars will live on forever, for a very very long time.
What about if these fans drop off? What are now?
People always like different things.
So you think people
will say, "Oh, I used to love Star Wars when I was a kid," and then they go on to something else.
This is a whole new way of looking at things. I've always looked at things like the mainstream are just going to get bored and move on to the next thing.
That's the thing about Star Wars. Star Wars is such a big thing; it's going to stay put. Whether it loses fans or gains them, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be in the back of someone's head. The other reason why is because Star Wars is what's made the films that we're at today. Star Wars, because it's one of the first big things.
I'm gonna film school you here. Go on.
It's one of the main things that's the reason why we have such good sci-fi adventures now.
Star Wars has ripped off a lot of things. It's shot from some films. I would argue, a film. I know you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this thing. You're gonna look at me like, what the hell? There's a film called 2001: Space Odyssey.
I've never seen it.
Absolute masterpiece.
That is one thing I've ever seen.
Masterpiece. Watch it. Try and work out the end is, and then please try and tell me. I argue it's a better film than Star Wars, but that kind of sparked the whole sci-fi interest, and then, I'm
on about the effects side. The effects is without Star Wars.
No, because 2001 is the one.
Most of the.
No, because 2001 is the most interesting effects on cinema, I think. But what I mean is that started the peak of interest, and then I think Star Wars made it sci-fi iconic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Star Wars is the thing that brought in the technology.
Yeah.
For what I know, for what I've heard, Lucasfilm didn't have the technology to do what they did in the film, so they created it. They come up with ideas to try and get there, and then it's thanks to their genius ideas. I don't think it is
100% genius now. I think, as you know, I'm not a big fan of the acting. I think the acting is really pantomimey, and I think I don't think the dark side and light side is interesting anymore. But having said all that, I still really enjoy the films, and they just won't quit, will they? If you know what I mean.
No.
And it's like Marvel now. Marvel's starting to get tired. People are starting to get lethargic. People are starting to get bored of Marvel. They're still gonna keep watching them, but they're getting bored. But Star Wars, every day, people just have got a passion for it. There's bursting to to keep talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you watch some of the reactions of just a simple person watching a Star Wars trailer of a new film coming out, you'll find that 50% of those people you watch on YouTube would end up crying because they're so happy he's coming back.
Yeah, I cried when the trailer. I cried at the Rogue One trailer. That's half. That's not even half.
Star Wars fans, whoever's a Star Wars fan, is as if they're related to each other.
So
because they all have the same love.
So it's more than the franchise. It's like a bond.
Oh, it's more than a bond.
It's more than a bond.
It's just like a different race.
So even though 2001 is, I think, a superior film stuff.
Well,
like
I've never seen it. So
it would never be able to have the attachment to the fans, and I think it doesn't. I sort of completely understand where you're coming from, but how's it sparked interest with the fans? What is it? Because like I said, I don't think anything in it is genius. I don't think the acting's all that great. I don't find the story all that interesting, but at the same time, I seem to love it. I just cannot work out why.
I think what happened Star Wars is so iconic and bonds everyone together is because I think it came in just at the right time. Like it was after it was after a lot of conflict, I think, in the world, and there wasn't any decent films. It was boring. There wasn't much going on, and then suddenly that came out, and so many people wanted to see it, and so much word went around so quick.
But surely that fills you for a year, and that's it. But it's gone on for 30, 40 years now. There's still
people today, and I was watching something recently. There's still people today who can't get over some of the things from Star Wars.
Yeah,
like just the opening scene. It's the first time everyone's ever seen that kind of thing.
I suppose if you was there at the time, and we don't really have that anymore because we've seen everything now, haven't we? But I suppose if you was there at the first time, the original shot of the foreshadowing spaceship was bigger, smaller. I suppose it would be so phenomenal to you.
Yeah.
It's like I always wanted to go to the first screening of Jaws because it would just be so mysterious and just so cool.
You see, that's off that point is people are most probably only really scared of sharks because of the film they've seen with Jaws. That's the only reason they'd most probably be scared of going in the ocean with a shark.
Well, I was having an argument with my friend earlier about this, but I think Jaws is more iconic than Star Wars just because everybody I know can hum the Jaws theme song, if you know what I mean. And every time somebody goes in the water, you always pretend there's a shark or something like that, which makes me believe Jaws is the biggest iconic film I've made. But that's a whole other story. But
films like Star Wars or Jaws, Harry Potter or whatever, it sends people's minds crazy.
But what I can't work though is just sometimes these films aren't genius.
No, they're not.
But everybody loves them. And is that because it all ties everybody together?
Yeah.
It's like a bond.
It's not a genius to create a stop motion movie. I mean, most of the effects in Star Wars is stop motion.
It's hard work, and obviously, I couldn't do it, and But
it takes a lot of patience. I wouldn't be able to do it for ages.
I look at it and
I don't know what it is at Star Wars, and I'm a big Star Wars fan. There's just something about Star Wars that binds everyone together.
Yeah.
It's like the Force.
Hence the Force, in brackets. Right, we really need to move on to the second topic, which is one what can be answered so fast. So it's barely even, I don't even mind bothering bringing it up, to be honest.
Well, we'll just spit it out, because
basically AMC, which is a chain of cinemas, have decided that it's stopped now. But they came up with the idea, should texting, the old mobile phone, the old tweeting, the old laughing at somebody's joke what isn't funny, should that be allowed during films?
No.
Exactly. No.
Any technology should not be allowed.
Like,
I think they should be a lot stricter with it, to be fair. The
people, they've got off into they've got a whole megaphone, they've got off at, see if you know what I mean, metaphor. They don't like it, and the AMC have brought a press release out saying, bad idea doing screens where you can text, and they're not going to do it. But they've still brought the idea up, and it's still throwing the question up.
Just asking for trouble.
But I agree, and as soon as the film starts, I turn my phone off. But I text through adverts. I'm not gonna lie. If because
no one wants to sit around for half an hour watching adverts.
Because I kind of quite like adverts in a way. They're quite interesting, but I hate adverts at the same time because they're annoying and they get under your skin. But I quite like to see where people are visually trying to get us, if you know what I mean. So I don't mind watching them, and some adverts are okay, but and some person behind me might enjoy the adverts. And I'm spoiling it for him, if you know what I mean. But I'll go into a screen and I've seen the adverts either on YouTube or on TV, and I don't want to watch them. And I just rather IMBD a film about to watch, or text somebody a joke going, LOL, just about to watch The Reverend, and then
Yeah, I'm not interested when it comes to adverts with movies. I mean, I don't agree with any technology being in the film, but I think the only adverts I'll ever accept from a film is something about another film.
or related
It's like,
to
for
film. What about
example,
trailers.
I now want to go and see London Has Fallen.
No, you don't watch that.
I've never seen it, but I wanted to go see it. When I went to see Force Awakens and that came on,
That's
that
what I get you.
advert,
But
I thought I'd
not
like
going to
to
go
go
into
see
this
that film.
topic, but trailers aren't good because they ruin everything now, don't they? You watch a trailer, you know the whole film, and
Yeah, a lot of
do you
people
want
say
to sit through that? Going back to Alien, the first Alien trailer perfectly summed everything up. Really eerie, really scary, done. But I want to watch the film. I don't know anything about it. I want to watch the film. But now you see everything. You can pretty much work out how it's going to end. You've pretty much seen the film before you go in, and it's we're not going to go into that topic. But just back to texting. I've got friends who are nice people. They don't want to be rude or anything like that. But I've seen them text in the cinema. They maybe lose focus for 5 minutes.
No, it drives me crazy.
It does drive me
when
crazy.
I see someone on the phone in the cinema, or going to sleep, or otherwise occupied by either
I fall asleep a few times.
couple behind us making out or whatever, it really annoys me.
I kind of like the whole. I kind of like that, to be honest. I kind of like how there's somebody making out in the back row.
I think sometimes they pay £20 just to have privacy in the back.
Oh, of course, but it's not right. But I kind of. I don't know. I kind of like the world of cinema where there's stuffing coming out the seat. The floor is sticky. It's people making out. It's maybe like a guy dozing off in the front. Big projector blurring the image out. I kind of like that world. But
you pull down the fold down chairs and there's still popcorn stuck to it.
I thought you were saying dead body then. I'm sure that's what was back by your lips. But yeah, obviously you shouldn't text me.
I think there should be a lot stricter when it comes to technology in the cinema.
You shouldn't.
If they have to, they should make it like airports where you have to go in for a metal detector.
People say, well, what if there's an emergency? I need to be, So there's always going to be that in there. But I don't think you should. Obviously, it's not right to text in cinemas, but I don't know if you could ever stop it, and I don't know if you ever will.
Technology.
Alright, moving on to our third point, which is pretty interesting because this is going to relate to me. It would relate more to my third friend, but it relates to me as well. Do we need Netflix? And what I mean by that is, I have Netflix. Ask me what films I watched on Netflix this month.
I don't want to, because the only reason being is I've been on Netflix and they all seem to be very boring, slow drama films. I think it's a waste.
Not just that, because I love them slow drama waste. But
yeah, I know you do, but I can't stand it.
But not just that, I've either seen all the films on there. I'm flicking through for like 5 minutes, can't find anything to watch. Time is precious when we're getting older, if you know what I mean, and you don't always know what to. I always like trying to watch a film a day, but sometimes you just can't pick. Sometimes you've had a stressful day and you just want something easy. It's not always there. So what I've watched this month, nothing. I went on the other day trying to watch something, didn't watch anything. So that's £5 down the drain, £5.99 down the drain for nothing.
It's I don't like Netflix. I don't like Netflix, and I also don't like love film.
I've got both.
Because both of them to me are not only a waste of money, just a simple waste of hard drive space. Because
on the old Xbox One.
Well, whatever it's on, it's just I just do not like. It's like Freeview and Sky. You go on Sky, you have a lot more to watch. Sometimes you have horrible days where you go around documentaries and films and you can't find anything.
Really
but Netflix and Love Film, it's like being a Sky customer and going to watch Freeview. It's horrible.
That's a good analogy.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like Netflix.
I'm beginning not to like it. Like every now and again, something will come on that I really want to watch, and I'll watch it, and that'll be it for like a month. But I generally want to watch every film there is. Really, I want to see. I want to see if there's some hidden gems and stuff. But I just can't force myself to do it. I just can't. I like that horror film looks really tacky, but it might be quite good. But I just can't bring myself to watch it because it's just too much hard work to scroll through all the
That's why I got my favourite horror film. I thought
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It was Insidious. When I first ever saw the front cover of
Ben.
Insidious, I thought, oh, what is this?
That's
This looks terrible.
And then also,
And I thought, you know, I'll watch it because I haven't got anything else to do. And I watched it and I really liked it. I like the Insidious.
The prequel
films.
to Darth Maul's story.
Darth Maul. Yeah, that's what really happened to
You
Darth Maul.
know I don't like Insidious.
I love Insidious films.
Right, so James, our third member, would have gone into that a lot more because he's a big online streamer. Oh, just very quickly, everybody seems to be doing it now. Just watch it offline, off an illegal site.
Illegal site, yeah.
Well, don't mention any names, but you know, you don't want to get.
Well, don't trust YouTube.
Yeah, and we don't want to get any companies into trouble or anything like that. But there's lots of sites. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this. I'm supposed to be, you know, a film student. I'm supposed to be wanting to get in this industry, but my friend's got about 100 backed up films on his hard drive, and he goes, you know, do you want Ocean's 11 HD? I'm not gonna go. No, I'm a good Samaritan. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna go. Yeah, give me Ocean's 11 Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Let's watch it now. Let's not do any work. Let's just watch it now.
It's like sometimes you might go and pay £13, maybe £15 for a movie,
Yeah.
a new release movie with it in Blu-ray or standard or whatever, and then and it'll be terrible.
Which actually brings me to my next point, which is perfectly worded in there, Ben, even though you don't know what I'm going to ask you next, or you don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I've got my little bag out for people wondering what's happening in studio/room.
Is it a bag full of goodies?
This is my man bag, which I take to college.
Man bag?
A little clutch. Anyway, I love Blu-rays. I have a Blu-ray addiction. I just can't stop buying Blu-rays. If Ben looks over my left shoulders, lots of Blu-rays down there. There's many more Blu-rays over there. I love Blu-rays.
Surprisingly, I haven't got Blu-ray, even though my Xbox is a Blu-ray player.
Xbox One seems to have a lot of trouble with Blu-rays. But anyway, you pay $15.99 for a Blu-ray. No one does it, do they?
I would never pay that.
That's what I mean. You'd never do it because it's ridiculous. Now, for the film fans, we love our classic. You know, we love our classic movies. We love The Godfather. We love Schindler's List. We love all these films. So, owning a copy of that on Blu-ray to us is almost like you collecting a Star Wars collectible. If that makes sense. So, people like me can't stop buying Blu-rays. So when we get paid from work, we go out and buy Blu-rays. So today,
Are they that good you need to keep the receipt?
well, that's just in case, you know, some guy in the back scratched them up. But he doesn't like the...
Just in case the Blu-ray case is actually green.
Doesn't like the way I talk or the way my stomach looks. But, yeah. I mean, got 5 Blu-rays here. Now, to me, these are like the greatest thing on earth. These are like... I'm going to cradle them now.
What, the films or the Blu-ray itself?
The film and the Blu-ray together, because these are films I love, just remastered in top quality. They've got special features, Ben. They're a nice case.
I personally don't think Blu-ray and HD have much of a difference.
Well, there's that whole debate, but what I'm trying to say is, just like you're on about, you know, am I going to pay $15.99 for a film? I wouldn't do, because I don't have the money. I'd rather spend it on the subway. But since I'm a film fan, I have to get Blu-rays. Now, this is a good deal. This is at HMV. This is 5 or 30 quid. Which I think, and exactly, you think that's bad, but you know, you're looking at about 8 quid each for a Blu-ray. Now, I'm just going to briefly go through the Blu-rays I bought today. I wish we had a camera so we could see Ben's reaction. But I bought the Sting.
Can I just say yes or no to see if I'm going to watch them?
Okay, the Sting.
No.
The 100th anniversary. So I don't quite understand.
I've never heard of it.
No, it's Universal's 100th anniversary, isn't it? It's not the film's 100th anniversary. I always keep getting that. The Sting, I actually haven't watched this.
Don't blame me, it looks terrible.
But,
that's me being a critic.
You've looked at the box art, and it's got Paul Newman in it. He was a great actor. Have you watched The Hustler?
Don't believe I have.
It's a film about hustling people. Well, it's more than that, but it's essentially about Paul Snooker. Anyway, yeah. I haven't watched it, but I've heard so much about it. If there's any Curb Your Enthusiasm fans, Larry David will not shut up about it in one episode. You know, The Sting. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I haven't watched this film. I don't know if it's any good. I might not like it. But since it's a classic in cinema history, and since I love Blu-rays, I just have to get it.
It's such a classic that I've never heard of it.
So, would you ever buy this? Would you ever go?
No, because I've never heard of it.
What if you really
I wouldn't pay that much for a Blu-ray.
What if you really love it now? It
Well, I
changes
really
your-
love Star Wars, but I still wouldn't pay.
But sorry, Star Wars has
that
changed.
much.
Star Wars has changed your life. Yeah. What if you watch this and this changes your life even further?
Well, like I said before, I don't think there's much of a difference between HD and Blu-ray.
Must
So I wouldn't pay £13 for a for a Blu-ray DVD when I can go pay £8, £9 for a HD version. You know.
Well, no, I'm with you. I still watch VHS. I still watch. I've got every. If you look to your left, I've got Jaws in every single version. I've got it on DVD. I've got it on VHS. I've got it on Blu-ray.
Mm.
I live for all the formats. If you know what I mean. I still buy DVDs. I'm not, but there's just something about Blu-rays and a classic film together which is just beautiful.
Say how ridiculous the price of a Blu-ray is. I the other day
It
bought
is.
The Force Awakens for $13.99. And I paid for the DVD and the copy on the Skybox. That's for $13.99 altogether.
It's 2 discs, Ben, and it's got special features on it. Anyway, so that's the thing. I haven't watched it, so I don't have a review of it. I don't have an opinion.
Never heard of it before.
Right now, obviously now I've watched this, The Godfather. Okay.
Would you be surprised if I said I've never watched it?
You know what's Godfather?
Never watched
I'm
Godfather.
not surprised at all.
Really?
You watch it, it's a masterpiece, and I don't care. Anybody said it's better than the second one. Yeah. I've got it on DVD. I don't know if it is out on VHS, but I'm sure I have on VHS somewhere. But I want it on Blu-ray because I love it so much. Now, I don't know if you feel the same way about if you was to get what film would you get on Blu-ray if you had to choose? Star Wars.
I'd probably get The Force Awakens just for the visual effects side of it. If it's HD and it's better sound and all that lot, then I would go for a film with a lot of visual effects and a lot of explosions and sounds and stuff like that. So I'd most probably get The Force Awakens on that.
So you watch Star Wars because you watch visual effects. Just like me, I want to get this Blu-ray because of the great dialogue, because of the great acting. I want to see it in the best, and that's why, I buy that. So you can sort of understand my reasoning, Once Upon a Time in the West. Sergio
Once Upon
Leone.
a Time in the West, I believe I might have watched that.
Sergio Leone, he did The Good, Bad and the Ugly.
I most probably watched it
Yes.
without realising.
He's a very interesting film. Great soundtrack.
See, cowboy
Maybe better than Good, Bad and the Ugly.
cowboy films I can kind of put up with.
Cowboy films.
I'm not, well, Western films, if you want to say. Western films, then, I'm not a fan of them. I'm nowhere near a fan of them. But if I have to watch it, I'll watch it.
When you think of a Western, what do you think of? You think of a
Cowboys.
Guy, you think of
Desert.
A guy, you think of a guy
Shooting.
going,
Black and white or film grainy.
but isn't that beautiful? Do you think of a guy going, you gotta get to that ranch to get them cows in, them cow herders, and then you gotta get to the casino, and that's the worst Texas. But you know what I mean? Do you think of,
When I think
Westerns
of a
like
cowboy
that?
film, I think of
or do you think
horseback, shooting someone,
this is
and
why you
that's
need to
about
watch
it.
Once Upon a Time, because it's not like that. It's not. What's that film called? The Golden Spur, which is a real underrated cowboy film, but it's like, it's got a great soundtrack and it's interesting and it's sharp and it's That's why I need to watch that.
Godfather
What do you say?
and
Once Upon a
Western
Time,
films. When it comes to Western films and gangster
Nice
films,
and
I'm not
slow and
interested in
enjoyable.
them.
Nice and slow and enjoyable. Right. Boogie Nights, one of my favourite films.
Heard of it, I think. Again, not for me.
If you want to make films, watch it. Very interesting. It'll teach you a thing or two about how to edit a film. Not how it looks. Well, kind of how it looks, but how you can make a film interesting. That's very brief, but yeah. Check Boogie Nights out. And finally, I bought this, Ben Hur, because they're remaking it. And
Is that a gladiator type of film?
kind of, it's
That was a good film, Gladiator. Got my favourite comedian in it, Homage Lily.
what, Russell Crowe?
I said favourite comedian in it, Homage Lily.
Good pronunciation there, but they're making a remake of it. They have made a remake of it. It looks terrible. Morgan Freeman has dreadlocks in it.
Morgan Freeman.
Would you
can have
rather-
dreadlocks?
Would you rather watch the film or listen to 2.5 hours of Morgan Freeman talking? And you maybe get a glimpse of Morgan Freeman with dreadlocks in if you watch the film. But yeah, the remaking the film looks terrible, blah blah blah. This is the original 4 hours long, I think it is. 4 hours long, Ben.
4 hours long.
Yeah, I believe it's 200.
Is that even legally
200,
allowed?
222 minutes it says here. So that's 4 hours. So it's over 4 hours. Is it? No, it can't. Is it 3 hours
Numb
something?
rear end.
3 hours 40.
Sitting down for 4 hours straight watching that.
Yeah, it's 3 hours something. What am I on about? Yeah. I've actually ever watched this once. I watched it in history. So
I've never seen it.
I really enjoyed it, and I just want to, enjoy a masterpiece. Right, so that's the Williams book today. And that really wraps up today's podcast. I hope we've been reasonably enjoyable. It's just two guys who know nothing, pretending they know a lot, which is what I like to do every day of my life.
Thank
I
you.
hope you've enjoyed a little special one-off podcast. And
May the force be with you.
that's how Ben's going to sign off. I'm going to sign off with buy Blu-rays. And buy very many. Welcome back, guys. This is just a special bonus bit of material. Ben has something to get off his chest about video games, and since we've done a lot of film talk, I thought it's time to give him the floor. So, take it away, Ben.
Microsoft and Sony are supposed to be doing a cross-network.
Never going to happen.
It will happen.
They've
They've already said it's going to happen.
The rival companies.
Yes, they are rival companies, you're right. But cross-network playability, or whatever.
So are PC going to join in as well, then? There's going to be PC, Xbox One, and
no, not.
So how are they going to fit them all on one server? How are they going to
I don't think PC is going to work, but
Microsoft and Sony have to collab together. How are they going to fit them all on one server?
I don't know. I don't know if it's
It's not possible.
playing as in
well,
the
it's
new
obviously
server.
possible. I mean, it's not going to do it, are they? Because they're rival
They've
companies.
already said they are going to do it. Sony have agreed to it.
Who said that?
Sony.
Is this a right? Is this on our websites again?
No, this is
Right,
official.
you know what I'm going to say next, don't you?
This is official.
Right, I've got to say it. The boy who
No,
died.
oh Jesus.
The boy who died because an Xbox disc flew out of the tray and cut his throat. This is what you tried to tell me. Then when we went on the website, and I think it was called Bizarro or something, it was just obviously a joke website.
Yeah, I can't.
So you messed up on that
I
one.
can't say that was 100% true.
Right, so
but
can you say
this
is
is
100%
official?
true? I haven't heard anything about this. In fact, I heard you talk about it. So
This is official.
I heard
Microsoft want to do cross.
I'm saying nobody knows. But, oh, well, I've heard my friend Kane.
Microsoft want to do cross-network playability from Xbox One to PlayStation
Ridiculous.
4, and Sony have said yes. Even though they're rival
Why haven't I
companies.
heard of this? Why it's like a big national?
It's probably because you haven't looked.
I don't know on the internet. That's true. But no, I still don't. So,
I disbelieved it
Is
at
this-
first
is
because
this-
I thought, hang on a minute, this isn't right.
right, tell me what the source is first. Tell me what website this is.
This is called XboxAchievements.com. It's
Right,
an official source.
It doesn't
Official
sound
source.
official. It sounds like
It is official.
It sounds like somebody just
And
thought.
just to clarify,
Some-
to make
wait,
sure it was
some-
official,
Somebody's just gone, oh, I like Xboxes. What would you do on an Xbox? You get achievements. Xbox achievement. I've made a website. Now I'm going to tell everybody that you can cross.
no, everything I've seen on that website is legit. It's official because I've double checked it because I've always gone to sources what I've never known of.
I know you're lying. I never double check sources anymore.
I've gone on Google and I typed in what it was and I went down to an official site and found what it said. Microsoft were planning to do it and apparently Sony have said yes.
Yeah, well, there's more idiots typing the same stuff. Ben deadpan me.
I'm not saying any more because I'll get shot in the head. So
No,
it's down to you to have a look on Google. And
So if I go on Google now,
if you go on Google
I
and
can
type in,
keep this recording and go on Google. If I go on Google,
and put in Xbox One, PlayStation 4 cross network.
I'm going to be absolutely bombarded by newspaper covers and press releases.
I don't know.
So what should I type in?
Xbox One
Alright, Xbox One.
and PlayStation 4 or PS4 cross network.
Oh, it's the 4 options come up. Let's have a look. A letter from Chris Charla.
Let's just have a look
Probably
at the
pronounced
website.
really wrong.
What's the website?
Chris Carla. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Right, this website looks unofficial. It's called Xbox Wire. Is that official?
What? Xbox Wire.
Xbox Wire. This is called ID. Anyway.
ID at Xbox.
Yeah, what's this about?
ID at Xbox is the preview program. thing for Xbox One. That's an official thing.
So I'm on an official website then. This will be ID's Xbox's third game development conference. So this is a conference. Let me scan readers. Here we go. Cross network play. First addition to the initially supporting cross-platform play between Xbox One and Windows 10 games. So it's Windows 10.
That's that'd be
Games that use Xbox Live. We're establishing developers. So you've misread this, haven't you? You've consumed this
that
to be.
one. I think somewhere along there I'll say something about
Including other consoles and PC networks. Of course, it's up to the game developers to support the feature, and Xbox Live players will always have the option of choosing to play only with other Xbox Live players. We're thrilled to confirm that Phoenix's Rocket League will be the first of the games to take advantage of this new capability of enabling cross-network play between Xbox One and PC players. So it's PC and Xbox.
That's the PC one.
With
Maybe
an
the
open... I can't see it.
Go back to Google. Go back to.
They hate each other.
Yeah, I know they do, but because I was surprised about it.
Cross-platform play works for popular PlayStation and... Right. But they're different systems and different...
I know, I don't...
Right, this is called Tech Radar.
Tech Radar, that's...
we know this one.
OXM.
Yeah. Cross-platform play works for the popular PS4 and Xbox One game, but there's a catch. Also, no, this is on about the game, Rocket League, how it's... You can...
I think Rocket League was...
I think basically PS4 are cross-platforming with PC and Xbox One are cross-platforming with PC, and that's something gate closing, so that may be... Anyway, yeah, it is, James. Let's just record this. Okay, so this is basically part 2. Our friend has finally decided to turn up, what we was discussing and bitching about earlier. We didn't really bitch about it. He's giving me the look as if to say, what the fuck, but we didn't really bitch about him. So, he's going to introduce himself now.
Alright guys.
His name's not David, so don't let him tell you otherwise.
Alright guys, I hope you have not stumbled upon this by accident and you've actually come to our channel.
Shout out to Kane Hurd.
My name's James and I've probably got one of the strongest opinions on gaming, filming, media, social media.
Ben chuckles in the background.
Everything's out there. I know the best.
You know everything.
Hit me up, Aron Thompsons.
Okay, so
Get your ass out.
we've already discussed in the first part the actual news of the week, but now James looks at my jelly bean collection. I wouldn't if I was you.
Troubles here.
It's a long story, but the reason why I haven't been eating them is a story. Remember, this is sort of topic, guys, but I'm going to discuss it.
Please tell me there's not coming there.
Of all the things that could be in there, you go for that option. Ben, you remember yesterday we was filming a dead rabbit, a long story. I made a touch rabbit trying to throw it, okay? I came back, put my hand in there, grabbed all the jelly beans, completely forgot I just touched the dead rabbit, panicked, washed my hands. I probably now got 50 diseases. Yeah. It's still recording. James asks, is this really how unprofessional Aron is? Okay. Let's try and bring this back down to earth. Costume dramas. Okay? You both look at me like, what the fuck? This is my point. You guys know what costume dramas are? They're basically Downton Abbey, period pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you both putting your hands on your heads and you both sighing. Would it be possible to get the mainstream into costume dramas? There's lots of big actors in costume dramas now, but
Depends how much costume they're wearing.
costume dramas are really good. They get a lot of publicity from the old generation. They're really good. They're really good, gritty, underrated, overlooked pieces what the mainstream miss. But are they ever going to catch on in the mainstream? Because, for instance, your favourite film, Gladiator, is kind of a costume drama. Obviously, it's not as dramatic or it's not as slow, but it's still a period piece. So maybe if they could bring some of the excitement over. When I say your favourite film, I'm pointing to James. James's favourite film is is Gladiator / Blood Diamond.
I see your point, but I think that it wouldn't have to be 9 old people in a big manor house drinking pots of tea and whatever goes on in Downton Abbey. It'd have to be something more exciting, wouldn't it?
So no one, like the most exciting thing what happened in Downton Abbey like season 3 was somebody getting
If
pregnant.
Downton Abbey was Faulty Towers, it'd be a lot more interesting.
But we know I don't like Fawlty Towers, so
Faulty Towers is hilarious.
I love you, John Cleese, but I just can't get into Fawlty Towers. Yeah,
I can't say much because I'm not a fan of them.
but it's not people sat around drinking tea. There is an underlying drama. It's sort of like poker. You're sort of playing your cards close to your chest, you're not revealing everything, and that's what Downton Abbey is like. It's like a slow chess game. But do you think if they spiced it up a little bit, you could get people interested in it?
What,
Or
to
do
wear,
you-
make them wear modern day clothing or what?
No, not going in the future. We're keeping it 1970s. It's not set in 1970s, is it? 1930s, we'll say. And, you know...
Someone's not done their research.
Look, what I'm trying to get at is...
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't.
Could anybody, like, grasp getting into it, if you know what I mean? It's like...
No.
It's like...
I don't know who it's supposed to be aimed at, really, but
yeah,
I think it's like...
Well, Downton Abbey's aimed at... we use this as an example. It's aimed at, like, our parents and...
Yeah, but you
the
do get the
old
odd person
Like
to bring it
myself.
up in conversation.
Yeah.
Like they actually watch it, but I think it's one of the things you got to watch it to get into it.
Yeah,
You've got
'cause
to
you gotta-
watch
you
that
gotta get the
episode and then
characters.
the next episode where it makes
So,
you more
do you think
interested.
if the...
But I ain't giving it that chance yet. So.
Yeah, that's what I said. Do you think...
Because it just puts you straight off Downton Abbey. It just doesn't.
It's not very appealing, is it?
Yeah,
But-
don't spring on you.
But if do you think it's a mainstream let it? If you know what I mean, they could work with it. Ben, would you watch it if I paid you £5
No.
to watch the first season?
No.
Why?
No.
Why do you?
I just don't like them. I can't stand those stuff.
But have you watched it? This is my point. This is
I have
the
watched.
people strongly detest against things that they haven't watched. It's like I was on about earlier.
No, I've definitely watched. I watched an episode, I think, and that was at my grandparents, and I just hated it.
But
It was so boring. I
But
felt
don't,
like
but
I'd go
don't,
to
don't,
sleep.
you like the relaxed, slow,
No.
just unwinding? As James said, it's just people drinking pots of tea. But there's that underlying threat to, like I was saying, season 3, I could be wrong here, I got my season model up, but season 3, it's all about somebody being pregnant what shouldn't be. Now,
I might as well go watch EastEnders.
exactly, this is what I mean, it's not the
Doesn't
biggest
interest me.
exciting plot point,
Yeah.
but when it's dragged out, it becomes exciting. If you know
That
what I
kind
mean.
of film or series or whatever, or any type of soap, I just can't stand them.
Well, I can agree with you there, because
Boring.
Coronation Street's in the
I
bottom.
might as well go outside and watch my next door neighbour and see how he lives.
Well, what's the whole point of soaps, isn't it? So, people can enjoy that life.
Predator
Right.
has spoken.
We will try and lead into my second point, which is, well, I suppose Game of Thrones is a costume drama. This is completely off topic. This is just me looking at Newsday, what's interested me. Because I was saying, I get the most boring topic to talk about, but I found this myself. Lena Headey, the actress in Game of Thrones.
Who did she play?
I'm not sure if I know what Game of Thrones, but I know James is looking at me like I haven't done my research here. I tell you, this is a very unprofessional
Find
show.
the shit out. And then we can...
Juggling the 6 films I'm in and might film my own film and try and get a social life, James, I just can't do it.
Right, so what's your point?
You're gonna make me cry. Right, my question is, before I start crying, should Ben compose? I need to get through this. And because if you start laughing, you're going to laugh about what this is actually about. She's used a naked body double, okay? Now everybody, or well, not everybody, it's just drummed up attention, but everybody's saying, well, people are saying, the journalist who wrote this is saying, it's like, it's not really acting, if you know what I mean, if you use a fake body double. And she's hit back by saying, just because I don't get my tits out, I'm not, I'm not considered a good enough actress. So,
And well done to her.
so exactly,
You know what I mean? If you don't want to
a
do it,
shout
why
out.
does she?
This is now turned into a shout out.
Who,
Yeah,
said,
but-
who said that she's
So the journalist has written the article saying
saying
that she's not a proper actress because she hasn't played a role
Just
properly
because
she's
had
had to use a double to
For
get
an
naked.
scene.
Almost like saying it with most stunt films.
Yeah, but it's like if you're not confident about doing something on the screen, but you're a good actress, it doesn't knock you.
No.
It might not even be that. She might just.
It's
know,
like I was trying to get
why would you want to?
I was trying to get Peter, shout out again, to say a racist line in my film, and it took me a good 20 minutes to convince him that it's for the material and it's not going to be played off bad or anything, and he eventually did it. But if he at any point was uncomfortable, I couldn't convince him, and
It doesn't matter how much you
it's
get
game
paid,
over.
you can't ever force someone to do something.
Exactly, you can't. Well, I think we're not in that era anymore. Apart from films like The Revenant, what do put actors through hell, but back in the day, actors would go through hell. Directors put actors through hell. Alfred Hitchcock, often quotation mark bullied his actors.
Yeah, I assume
But-
they'll get angry and frustrated. And
Exactly,
Stuff, but
but
you still can't force someone
You
to
can't really force anybody to
do that. So that journalist is wrong in saying so.
do something they're not. And yeah, that's the only two things what have come today what have interested me. We've covered our topic of Blu-rays. The topic which I think would have suited you best was talking about Netflix and how.
We're talking about James at the
I'm
moment.
talking about James. I keep pointing because it's not on camera. I'm such a star. I'm used to being behind the camera. Aaron rolls his eyes back. We should turn it into a radio place. Ben strokes his goatee/beard. James chews his fingers. Aaron plays with his thumb and finger. So that's so wrong. Anything could be happening right now. Anyway, we're talking
James
about
uses the jelly beans and shouldn't be eaten.
which could have rabies in them.
Good.
In fact, is he still around? Let's turn into a nature program now. Anyway, Ben laughs in the background while stroking his beard. Maybe we're talking is seductive. Go-to. It's okay. James is nudging me because he's getting paranoid that this is unprofessional. But we've done me and Ben done a good solid 45 minutes of film talk, so we're tired and we can get away with this. And this is part 2. This is where the drinks come out and tops come off.
I'm staying on.
Ben's staying on. Thank God. Anyway.
So what's happening with my topic anyway?
Yeah, I got a topic.
Netflix
I
and chill.
got given a topic which I thought would have been perfect for you because you have Netflix, and I think out of me and Ben you probably use it most. Because basically we're saying, do we need Netflix? And they don't have it.
No, it's rubbish.
Exactly, it's my point because
Yay, finally.
I haven't watched anything for like 2 months now.
It's all this shit. They
and-
post one film, what seems to be one film
One
that
decent film.
that no one's ever heard of, every now and again, and you'll get something that you've probably watched last week on television. That's a decent film. Oh, I've just seen it recently, so you don't want to
Most
watch
of
it
the
again.
films I've seen on Netflix I've never heard of. Never.
Yeah, or you get like
I've
really
never heard
terrible
of them
B
before in my
horror
life.
films which you're never gonna watch. So that's what was basically.
How much do you pay a year for that?
$5.99. No, a year.
Yeah.
12 times $5.99. Go Ben.
Yeah, but you get discount, I think.
Yeah, you do. I think you do. First month free.
I think
as
it's
well,
like
not bad.
70, 80 quid.
Yeah.
£80 a year
Yeah, but I don't really watch it
to
for.
watch films you've never
I
heard
don't
of.
watch it for films anymore. I just watch for TV series.
I've never seen a film on Netflix that I've actually heard of.
Not one.
Never.
Never one.
I've
Ben, have you
never
heard
been
of?
on
Got to.
Netflix
Have you
and
heard-
seen
have you
a
heard
film
of,
I've never heard
Have
of.
you heard of Captain America?
And Snatch.
That's much.
I didn't see them when I was on there.
What were you on? The anime
I had a
section?
month's trial of Netflix.
Ben's got the wrong Netflix.
Oh, so it's the same with Love Film. Have a lot more recognised, yeah, but still, it's crap. All crap films.
What
I
film?
just
You mean
don't.
Amazon Prime?
The old Love Film.
Yeah, you can't say love film anymore. Just before I was about to film this, Ben goes, "We'll keep this PG," and you just said crap.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Our listenership is probably not even in double figures. It's probably my film class and a few sketchy kids who hang out at the library. But you can't say words like that, Ben. So you might be sensitive to your material. But anyway, let me just see if I can fire some points at James, what we talked about, and then I can merge those together and play over the top of each other. So there's just 2 conversations happening. Right. What's all about Blu-rays? If you buy them, would you buy a Blu-ray?
Depends.
James looks at my pile of Blu-rays and ponders.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I never really buy DVDs because I just like to watch things online where it's free.
This is what
And depending on quality, or if you know a film's good, or if it's cheap enough, then yeah, I'd probably buy one.
You can get some really cheap.
What would you
videos
say the
now.
difference is between Blu-ray and a HDR?
Is HDR
Special
just
features.
a plain one?
HD
Hang on.
compared to a
Cool,
Blu-ray.
we
I
skip.
thought a HD was just a normal.
We
No,
skipped.
that's standard.
Oh, I don't know.
standard
I've
HD.
never bought a HD
Wait,
one.
we
Though.
skipped over this earlier, briefly, didn't we? But are you talking about the HD, like the red box HD films? So you don't know what I mean, do you? Because before Blu-ray, there was HD films. It was in like a little red box, and they got stopped being made because they didn't catch
High
on.
definition films and Blu-ray, I don't think there's much of a difference.
No, but-
That's why I refuse to pay
No, but there's
£13,
there is a big-
£15 for a DVD.
Well,
and Blu-ray.
I'll make my argument that black and white films now can be made into colour. They can be made into Technicolor because
Yeah,
of Blu-ray, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's an example of the technology behind Blu-ray. And
Well, I've never seen or heard of these HD bollocks.
Most
I
films
just thought
now
it
are
was-
HD,
I just thought it was standard in Blu-ray, and if it's a good film, then I'd get it on Blu-ray if it was cheap enough. If not, I won't buy it. Because I can find it online for the same quality,
and that is
and I can watch it as many times as I want anyway.
and that is
Put
what
a disc in.
like every film fan does, and nobody wants to admit it. I was telling Ben earlier, I've got like 100 films on my hard drive which are just downloaded illegally. Not me personally done it. I'm not going to shout out any names who've done it, but
Shout out to Peter Allen.
sorry Peter.
Kane Heard, eat your eye out.
King's not involved in this, but Peter, the cop's going to be after you tomorrow, so lucky doors. If you can get as far as the podcast, because I know we like to listen to these things while we do work, but I'd switch off to be honest if I listen to this crap. Anyway, can you guys think of any more topics to discuss about films? Ben's thinking, can we talk about video games? Aaron's saying no, not as important.
Nothing.
What video games do you want to talk about? As long as it's not these servers at bollocks servers.
Well, this is the media box. I suppose we do a bit of game news, can't we? Does anybody know any game news?
What do you
Far
think
Cry's
Game
gonna
of
come
the
out.
Year should have been?
For
James thinks.
Fallout?
you know that Thieves End, what's it called? Something for
Oh, Uncharted 4.
Uncharted.
Coming out in the month. Yeah, I look forward to that.
That's coming out soon. Dark Souls has just come out.
Dark Souls 3, yeah.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what do you think Game of the Year should have been
Last year.
this year?
This year, I'm going to look at James and go, wink, and go Witcher 3. And it was.
Really?
Yeah. Don't,
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, it's pretty.
Because
good
Game of the
aren't
Year, or best game, should I say, is Fallout 4.
I know. No, that's the BAFTA awards now.
Yeah. That's-
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
Oh, I don't agree with it. I don't know what. I mean,
Once
these-
you've walked around the map once, you've seen how, like, there's nothing new to Fallout once you've done one village.
Mm.
I think
It's fun at the
just
time,
it's-
and then once you've completed it, it's like, oh, that's it, I don't really want to play on it anymore.
I don't think it's that. I just
You
think
see, I think Battlefront would have made
No, Ben.
sort of would have made the top charts
I
if it
knew
had
Star
story
Wars would
DLC
win this.
or story a story to
No,
it.
it's not going to win Game of the Year. Well, I mean, it's not.
No, it
it's
wouldn't
not a
have-
contender
no, it
for
wouldn't
Best
have-
Game of the Year, is it?
It would have been up there with a lot of good
So
games
yeah, but you just want,
if it had
but
story.
you just want a story-based Star Wars game, not Battlefront. Battlefront is a tactical multiplayer game. Well, tactical, very brief. Then you just charge into battle and hope what happens.
I just see it as
Shit,
Battlefield for Star Wars. That's why I see it as.
You've
and
always got to get
the
the topic-
Battlefield
You always got to
DLC.
get a topic back on Star Wars.
That's the only game I've really played recently. Other than that, it's only Ark, and Ark's to me is nowhere near.
What's Ark?
Ark Survival Evolved, PC game. It's on Xbox One.
Is this
Oh
recent?
yeah, this is that PC Xbox One bollocks that we're going through
Oh.
Steam.
Okay. Is this recent? See, this is the part where the film guy knows nothing and he starts panicking, starts squirming in his chair.
It's alright, Aaron.
What-
It's all rubbish.
What is this Ark
It's
thing?
nothing important.
Ark
Just a-
Survival
it
Evolved.
is a dinosaur riding. It's like Far Cry with
It's a survival
dinosaurs.
game.
It's like Far
Oh,
Cry.
It's not.
is it-
It's not that
Can
great.
you get it on console? I'm sure I've seen like a.
I
You
don't know.
can't
if
get
it's
it on ours
PlayStation.
yet, I don't think. I mean,
Yeah,
that's coming
no,
out next year
yeah.
or the year after.
Yeah, we
But-
get it exclusive for a year, and then you
Basically, Microsoft have bought the linkage between Steam and Xbox.
James has found my skinny
Get
jeans.
it. Yeah, we had a few games like DayZ. DayZ.
Yeah, but they're
Ark,
like big games.
H1Z1.
Yeah, they're all big
I
games.
think that's about it. Space Engineers.
Is that game? Is that title of game Space Engineers?
Space Engineers.
I don't know what this is. I'm gonna have to hide. Like, I don't.
Flick the whatchamacallit on and we'll pull some topics up off that shit. You know what I mean? Like, go on Netflix and we'll rip its faces or something.
Well, I was thinking, even though we've already done this with Ben, we haven't actually done this on podcast, but I was thinking, Ben, you know what's cracking with the Blu-rays here, but I was thinking if I just briefly go through these,
Oh, okay.
I'll get you guys just first opinions, really.
Alright, so
A few games here.
I'll go first.
James picked up a DVD.
The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. Now, it's, as you can hear, not even been opened yet.
Let me just say.
But hang on, Aaron does this. He buys things and never does anything with them. But hang on, my opinion on this film would be, it's good. I haven't watched it for a few years. It's got some age on it.
Tom Cruise's hair's grown since James watched it.
But it's an enjoyable film to watch, I think.
Well,
The story's quite
let me
catchy.
just explain why I got this. Okay. Gainsborough, Poundland, £1 can buy you a DVD or Blu-ray. So I go in there, I try and rescue any of them DVDs out. You know, I don't want common people getting on DVDs and Blu-rays. I want them for my film collection. So, like James, I haven't seen this film in years.
But it's a good film.
A bit long. It's a bit long now.
It's a bit, yeah, but it's got a catchy story to it. It's got an alright story to it.
Not very original.
There's a
story.
reason why you bought that DVD, Aaron. In the hope that one day you will watch it again.
I thought about saying it. I hope you're going to become the last samurai.
That can't be that. Right.
Right. I think James knows James has picked up one of my favourite horror films, and I think he's seen. I think I showed him a few scenes of it if he remembers.
Is this the one with the cool poster?
No. Well, it's got a cool box art. But
What was the one that came with
all I'm
the
going to
cool
say
poster?
is a hand comes up and grabs a gentleman's parts and crushes
Oh.
them, and Ben cringes. Basically, we're talking about a Spanish film called Pieces. It was brought up to my attention by a director called Eli Roth, and it is almost the room of horror films. It is a very interesting, bad horror film, but for people like me who just cannot let go of the horror genre, it's a must-watch. And Ben, I'm going to show you it one day, and you're gonna.
Pieces.
Yeah, perfect. I'll just quickly just tell you one brief bit of it, just so I can get Ben's reaction here. Well, I'll just go for the bit what it comes up a lot on IMDb. They're basically playing tennis across the court, which has nothing to do with the story whatsoever. And the tennis looks so bad. It looks like they're supposed to be big tennis stars, and it looks like they've never played tennis in their life. And it's just drilled into the film, and it's just full of little moments like that, what just turn it into a very strange work of art. James is saying no to another horror film.
Cabin Fever, I've heard of Cabin Fever. Most people have heard of Cabin Fever.
Hills of Eyes.
Hills of Eyes 2 I haven't watched yet. First one.
No, I've never seen any of them.
Okay for a wrong turn.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
James skips past that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna let James skip through all the DVDs so he gets one he likes and wants to talk about.
Here we go, Lord of the
He's
Rings.
found Lord of the Rings. That size sums it up.
Is that thing you've never watched?
That's Aaron.
I haven't watched the last one.
I thought it was you.
Never keeps giving me
No,
hell
of
for it.
course, I've seen this. I was raised on
He
Lord.
is.
You
He is
raised on it.
part of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was raised in the Fellowship.
In the shine.
Never seen. Well, that's going to be interesting. Paranormal Activity. If you ever want to laugh about if you can
If you
picture
wanna laugh
Yoda
about-
and then unpicture him again. So, something's happening. It's absolutely thrilling scene. There's a baby floating around. Just picture Yoda's there and then unpicture him again. And the whole film will become
That's
an
that-
absolute joke.
You're thinking of Paranormal Activity 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which
It doesn't
one.
matter.
They're all the
first
same.
one. That's the. I think that's the scariest one.
516, we're not talking about that. This is the other
Yeah,
one.
that's good. That's my respect level for James has just gone up for pushing aside a football game.
Football games. Alright, that's how you kill your hours. James passes me a beautiful copy of I Spit on Your Grave in
If
Blu-ray.
you want to play football, you don't play it on a game. You go outside and play.
You know nothing about going on that
No,
side.
I
would
don't
you?
know anything about it. It's a complete waste of time.
Fallout
Seven.
4.
It's
Skip
not a
past
football
that.
podcast.
What's this?
Just lots of short films.
Hills of Eyes 1. Night of the Living Dead. 28 weeks. That's a good one. Goodfellas. Is that like the weird opening scene?
Yeah.
Where they stab the hell out of that guy?
I was like, you guys.
This looks
do,
interesting
But
anyway.
you guys just did a film movies,
So are they making another 28 something?
That sounds interesting.
James's tune, yes. To Ben's answer, I'm not sure.
What?
Is it another 28 weeks?
I'm not sure.
Are they going to write 28 months or something?
Yeah, I think I've heard about this.
28 months later.
Yes. But I believe didn't they drop it because they couldn't find a way to write a script or something?
This is something Ben's seen on the internet. What's that again? Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It's better in the I think this isn't the English version, is it?
No.
No. Swedish, yeah. This is a better version. The new one with was it Daniel Craig that's in it?
Yeah.
It's not as interesting. It's not as
Captivating.
original.
Yeah.
Nosferatu. A PG.
Original vampire film.
How can that be a PG? A vampire film.
Dracula.
Oh, come on. When did you rescue us? Right, Reservoir Dogs. Night
Original, that
of the Living Dead. Please tell me this is what I think it is. And
That's the original.
Right.
Right.
Ben, say something ridiculous and then we can just attack you.
Let's just
Go to,
review some wines.
go to the pub.
Yeah, let's just hit the pub.
Right. We've talked about everything what's happened today. How about we just end?
On a
No.
high note. Well, I don't
No,
just
we'll-
collab and sing.
Yeah, we kind of lost all the energy, but we'll end on a little bit of fun. Let's hope. Ben, we'll start with you. What have you done today?
To make you feel
Nightfall.
Nightfall.
Okay then, James.
I've been to the seaside, I suppose you could call it.
Seaside.
Hazel Falls Shore in Hull.
Is there a seaside in Hull?
Well, there's the Humber Bridge, and that's
Is this
sort of
with-
the seaside.
Is there the bay? Or
This is with the bay.
with the bay?
So yeah.
Have you collected any shells?
No. I don't collect shells.
Have you collected a stick of rock?
I went for a Mackey's.
McDonald's at the seaside in Hull.
What's on the seaside, is it?
It's just rubbish. floating in the
sewage
water.
plant.
Yeah.
Sewage plant with a current.
I got the underlying joke. Did you go to the deep? If Bleeding Hull goes to the deep.
I've already been.
We've already done that. Practically got a season pass. Right, what have you guys asked me about my day?
Have you been to college?
What have you been
I'm
doing
gonna try
now?
and predict what's happened. There might not be. Basically, I decided to wake up really late because I couldn't bother to get out of bed.
Oh.
So that's happened. So I basically skived the whole morning off. Why am I saying this? This is going to go on college podcast. I've just made it right. The egg is now my face. I made it right for.
Yeah, moves now and then.
Ollie, if you listen to this, go eat one of your pot noodles and just chill. Basically, I woke up, I'm not going to get out of bed for F this, see, looking at PG. I'm back into bed. James mimes to me and gets annoyed when I repeat what he's saying. Don't worry, I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. Yeah. You did. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you've done
No.
anything, nothing,
No.
filming?
Let me get to the point of this.
I'll point my story. So I should be an aspiring filmmaker who's getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, crushing weights, writing scripts, but I've ended up just eating toast and
Got off at
drinking
4
coffee.
after 4 in the
Then
afternoon.
my friend goes, you know what, I'm doing the same, I'm going to try and come in. So I go, look, you're coming in, I'm going in. So we go in, hours lesson. Oh yeah, I got 30 quid today for nothing.
Right.
This is what for my Blu-rays. Basically, we're supposed to go on a trip to London, but we're not, so we got refunded for it. So I'm like, extra 30 quid, Primark, Blu-rays, lovely. Anyway, what's the point of this? Yeah. Then we get told we've got a English and maths test, okay? And done English and maths in 4 years, passed all that. Don't need to worry about that, Aaron. Oh wait, but you do. So I go into the test, absolutely bomb. I'm not going to tell you what I got, but it was a bit out. Let's just say I should be level 3, but according to my grades, I'm looking at level 1 now. And, I mean, I guess half the maths questions, I guess...
Why did you have to do a maths and English?
I have no idea. I think it's because this is really controversial. We're really, like, cut into... I mean, this is playing in the library. Yeah, we're really... People are going to be listening. People are going to be saying... They're going to be talking about this. Well, basically, I'm guessing the college wants to work out how we progressed over 2 years. So, basically, my chart is going to be down spiral, just going to the floor. I mean, I'm talking below 50% right answers on this. I'm talking bad marks. I'm talking, you know, I should stay in bed and not even bother coming in marks. Anyway, cheer myself up. I spent some money. Laughed at somebody falling over. Came back and tried to make this podcast slightly enjoyable. Part 2 of a otherwise quite professional first part, but James comes along.
Drop.
We've got
420 blazer, innit, today?
it's 420 Blazer. We got swearing going on. Ben's losing his hair.
Ben's hair's dropping
We
out.
tried to do a bit of game talk on a film podcast.
Half an hour into our podcast.
So we'll wrap it up here before we.
So we're all going to sign out, I
Yeah.
believe.
Ben, you can go first because you got a perfect sign out for this.
See you later.
It's not the original one, but we'll go with it. James,
So once again, I'm going to hope that you're not just stumbling upon this by accident.
shout out to Game.
Shout out to Gain Heard. We've got a lovely bit of inspiration from you. Keep doing your hard work. I'd like to do part 2 of the cooking stop motion that you did. And I'll see you later.
And I've been your boy Aaron. See you around college.